Hello everyone, my name is Leslie. This is a series of Frugal Thoughts because I just speak about a series of Frugal Thoughts. I apologize if the lighting is off, but the sun is directly in my face. Oh, what just changed? I saw that. I wanted to speak to you today about the way we did not spend money last night, and that was by not reacting to a emergency we were having in our home, in my neighborhood, actually outside of Philadelphia. I live outside of Philadelphia, and we were having, there was around 3:15, a really crazy bad storm came through, and as a result, we lost power in my neighborhood. Some really huge, enormous trees came down, and we had no power. People really had problems. We were fortunate. I did have to finish my working with a hotspot, but really, other than having to rake our lawn, it wasn't really too bad. But it lasted about 10 minutes, and after the storm blew through, I walked outside to see one of my neighbors had a couple of very large branches fall on her house, and I wanted to take some photos for her. She was not there. And other neighbors came up and we started chatting, and I said, "Oh, what's going on? What are you guys doing?" And they said, "Oh, we have no power. I guess we're going out for dinner tonight. Let's check out what is playing. If there's any movies there's a movie about 15-20 minutes away. I think we're going to go to dinner, and even though it's less frequent, I think movies are starting to open up." Anyway, I came back and my husband said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, apparently people are going to dinner and going to a movie." And he said, "Oh, well, what's going on?" And I said, "Well, I have to work until 5 and or 5-ish, and I actually I had a pretty late dinner, lunch rather, and so I really am fine. What about you?" And so, long story short, we ended up just kind of making it, my husband and me and some of the kids, just kind of like making do with what we had and not really going out for dinner, which is something we would really never do on a Wednesday normally. And in terms of, because it was July, we had natural light in our home until really like 8:30. You could still walk around and there was still enough light. We had some really major flashlights afterwards that I turn it upside down, put it on the table or on a flat surface, and it illuminates the entire room. So I was able to work on my puzzle quite well until about 10 o'clock at night. My husband and my other kids were doing their things. Even, my one son had a portable charger. I think he was playing on something. He was keeping himself busy. My daughter was doing something else. So I think that we were all kind of happy. We were all kind of, huddled in one room. It was not the way we would normally spend an evening, but we made the best out of the circumstances. I went to bed around 10 o'clock, which is when I would normally go to bed. And then our power came on this morning at 5:30. But the thought was, as I realized afterwards, and around, I guess about 7:30, 8 o'clock, just to kind of kill time, because we needed to kill some time, I said, "Oh, let's go see what happened to some of the trees," because we had heard that there were some really big trees down a block over, and we went over there, and there was somewhat of the guys from the township were actually working on it to remove it from the roadway because it was blocking the road. So it became somewhat of an impromptu party, and we were talking to neighbors who I don't see. Sometimes I only see them on Halloween when I would go trick-or-treating, or people who, friends of mine who our kids have grown up together. I don't see them as much anymore. So the point being that we really had a very enjoyable evening, but by not going out and going to dinner and having a movie on a night we would not normally have to do. Now, this is not an emergency where there's like catastrophic loss of life. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just saying that sometimes, rather than impulsively thinking that you need to go out and go spend money, maybe sometimes you're okay just finding an alternative way to do it. So while this was what I'm calling an emergency, this was obviously not life-threatening, but it's always a good idea to find a way, or to resist the urge, I should say, to spend money just because you're suddenly faced with a set of circumstances that you need to work out of. That is my frugal thought for the day. If you are someone who has enjoys this content. That's what I was looking for, those words. I don't speak from a script. If you're someone who likes this content, and please like and subscribe down there. I am very appreciative of all my subscribers, and if you have any ideas, please let me know. I would be happy to talk about some of the ideas I have about ways to save money. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye-bye now.